suicide of Rhea Parsons, 17 years old. The alleged sexual assault a couple of years ago, just 2 years of bullying is what brought her life to an end all too early. Dr. Lisa Barrow is an assistant professor at the Goodman School of Business at Brock University, has done extensive research on bullying in schools and the workplace, and joins us now. Dr. Barrow, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This case, unfortunately, Rhea Parsons, not unique. I was just reading about a similar case in the United States a couple of weeks ago. A girl also 17. These are very sad cases, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And unfortunately, until something is done, we are going to continue to hear about cases like this. And it's so tragic for the individuals and also for the families and ultimately for society.
Well, short term, I guess we can make arrests and you know, I don't know. But when you say something has to be done, we talking long-term solutions?
Yes, I'm talking about long-term solutions. It's about time we start holding bullies accountable for their actions. And I believe that the way that we can do this is by having legislation in place that lets individuals know that bullying behaviors are illegal and will not be tolerated. And if individuals choose to participate in such behaviors, they will be held accountable. And I truly believe that we need legislation very similar to the legislation that we have pertaining to racial harassment, sexual harassment. We do have in Ontario the legislation pertaining to Bill 168. However, the problem with that particular legislation is that it is not being enforced. And so until we can really put teeth into the legislation that currently exists, we are going to continue to have situations like this. So anti-bullying legislation is very important, but we also need the support and the enforcement that lets individuals know that this type of behavior will not be tolerated.
In other words, I guess bullies feel they can get away with it, have gotten away with it, and this encourages almost the practice then. Exactly.
And society encourages people to bully. And we often say, well, how tragic when someone takes his or her life. But after a few weeks, business as usual, and the bullies continue. And so as a society, we have to stand up and say, enough is enough. Too many young people are losing their lives. Too many people in the workplace are losing their lives as a result of bullying. 10% of employees who are being bullied on a regular basis consider homicide or suicide as viable options of addressing the issue.
Boy, that speaks to the desperation that you hit, I guess, when you are bullied.
Exactly, because with bullying, it touches the very core of a person's being. And once you've experienced bullying, it's not like any other type of harassment or any type of experience one can imagine. And so oftentimes people who are being bullied feel as if they do not have the support from, if it's in a school, from the administration, if it's in the workplace, from human resources. And so oftentimes the bullied employee feels very isolated and frustrated. They may even raise awareness about what they're experiencing, and nothing is done. And so they decide that, you know, I may as well harm myself or I may as well harm others because I can no longer continue this experience.
I would agree. We need more action. I appreciate your opinion on this. Dr. Barrow, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Lisa Barrow, assistant professor at Goodman School of Business at Brock University, much also study on and research on bullying in the workplace and in schools.